Shalom, brothers and sisters, and once again, this is Shabar Judah Israel bringing you another edition concerning Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. It's late night, so I'm going to get in and get out. Brothers and sisters, it's brothers that's having well, I'm not going to say a hard time, but in Revelation, I believe the 14th chapter, 4th verse, a lot of brothers and sisters getting it twisted. They don't understand it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to Revelation 14, verse 4, and I'm going to break that down for you. And this will be part 1. I'll come back with a part 2 for the sake of time tonight. So before we get into the lesson, let's give all double honors to the elders and the apostles. Salutations to the Akim that's preaching the truth in season and out of season, week in and week out, edifying the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which is truly blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are the biblical Israelites according to heritage and bloodlines, believe it or not. And all praises due to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world classifies God and Jesus Christ. So let's get into this. We're gonna go straight over to Blue Letter Bible, and blow it up big enough for you guys to see it. And we're gonna get right into the lesson. I mean, right into the lesson. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to Revelation 14. Revelation 14 chapter. This is the chapter a lot of brothers and sisters is not comprehending. So let me give you some comprehension concerning Revelation 14. Now, we're going to actually start off with verse 4, but I'll begin with verse 1. It says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion." It says, "And with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads." Now, that's basically the elders. That's going to be governors over the what you would call it, the 1/3. They will be governors over the 1/3 to lead them into the wilderness and to instruct them about the way, to show them what's necessary according to these laws, statutes, and commandments. They're gonna be like the governors of the 1/3 of Israel. We know 2/3 is not gonna make it. So these 144,000 having the Father's name is also, I believe, is also recorded in Revelation, the 7th chapter, I believe. Somewhere in Revelation, the 7th chapter, it speaks about the 144,000. Let's see. We're not going to go in the 7th chapter of Revelation, but yeah, I believe. Yeah, also in Revelation chapter 7, it speaks of Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. Well, let's go over to it for the sake of time. We're going to rush into it, though. We're not going to really break it down. I just want to show you, this is where the 144,000 comes from. Revelation, the 7th chapter. Revelation, the 7th chapter, verse 4. So we'll head over there right quick. It says, Revelation 7 and 4, "And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of Israel." Those are the elders, okay? That's going to be governors over the 1/3. So I just wanted to show you that 144,000 was recorded in Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. And here we are at Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. So pursuing the 144,000 in Revelation 14 and 1 goes back to Revelation 7 and 4. It's the same people, okay? These governors over the 1/3. So that was 144,000 having the Father's name written in their foreheads. Now, that kind of goes back to, like I said, it's in comparison with these righteous men keeping the law. Revelation 14 and 2, "And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of the harpers harping with their harps." Now keep in mind, these 144,000 having the Father's name written where? Written in their foreheads, man. Written in their foreheads. You go to Isaiah 8 and 16, and it's going to give you more understanding. So Isaiah 8 and 16 as a precept. I believe that's Isaiah 8 and 16. Yeah, Isaiah 8 and 16. And let's get understanding about this seal in the foreheads of these 144,000. Isaiah 8 and 16, it says, bind up the testimony. And it says, seal the law among my disciples. So that's what sealed these 144,000 governors that's going to be the chaperone over the 1/3. the leaders. That's what sealed among 144,000. It's just not a seal in general. It's talking about the law, man. It's Isaiah 8 and 16. I just want to show you that's Isaiah 8 and 16. And if you go to Ezekiel 9 and 4. Let's see. Ezekiel 9 verse 4. Still pursuant to the seal. It says in Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads. That goes back what we breaking out concerning that the 144,000 with the seal. So Ezekiel 9 and 4 says, go in the midst of the city, throughout the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the man that signed crime. Because the only people that signed the crime to have for this place to go down is the elect. Okay? The elect and the governors are the elect. They the only one that signed the crime. These 2/3 niggas and speaks and tomahawks, they ain't signing crime, man. Okay, they actually hoping that Babylon, which is America, they actually hoping that it don't be destroyed. So they not signing crime because they love partaking the pleasures of this world and they love indulging in wickedness and having dealings of this carnal world. So these are not the man, these wicked ass niggas. Okay, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they not the ones that signing crime. We know the true prophets that signing crime. The 1/3 and the governors are the 1/3. Now it says, set a mark upon the foreheads, as you see in Ezekiel 9 and 4. Set a mark upon the foreheads of the man that sigh and cry for all the abominations that have been done in the midst of the earth, or in the midst thereof. So if you're a wicked ass Israelite, you're not going to sigh and cry because you love doing abomination. So it's only talking about the one that's, keeping the laws of sincere and true, and really just going in and trying to maintain with the best of their ability to get the hell up out of here. That's what it's talking about. So when you go back to Revelation 14 and 1, it makes plenty sense now about the 144,000 having his father's name written where? In their foreheads, which pursuant to Ezekiel 9 and 4. Now, like I said, I didn't go through the whole thing pursuant to Ezekiel chapter 9. I'm just trying to show you in reference to the seal that's on these 144,000 foreheads. So we read Revelation 14:2. Let's skip down to Revelation 14:3. It says, in a song, as it were a new song before the throne. Man, we ain't gonna be singing this Christianity bullshit, all this stuff, these denominations, religions, these false philosophies and vain deceits that we've been brought among. We're not gonna sing that. We're gonna sing a new song, a song of truth, okay, and righteousness. So they sung a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000, see, which were redeemed from the earth. So this song is not publicized just for anyone to learn. It's only for the 144,000, as you can see in Revelation 14:3. Now this is where they catch hell at. When they get on the 4th verse of Revelation 14, the 144,000, okay, it says in Revelation 14 verse 4, these are they which were not defiled with woman, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb. Whithersoever he goes, these were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. So when you get to Revelation 14 verse 4, a lot of brothers and sisters say, well, these 144,000 certain men, they were not defiled with woman. They'll say, so they never had sex with women. They never had sexual relationships. These people, these men, they stayed abstinent. You know what I'm saying? They never had sex with women. But that's not true. That's not what it's talking about in Revelation 14:4 when it says they were not defiled with women. That's not talking about sexual affairs, period, man. All right? We're going to give you the understanding what it's talking about, because I used to think like that before I discovered the truth. I used to think like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, how in the hell you can go through our life without defiling yourself with a woman? Because that's in a man's nature, you know what I'm saying, to desire a woman. That's part of his masculinity, to desire a woman, to want a woman, you know, and to get his grown man on, to do things, you know what I'm saying, to do things with a woman, you know. So how is it that these 144,000, these men, they was not defiled with women? It's not talking about sex. So what is it talking about? Let me show you what it's talking about. Because it's not talking about an actual woman. And see, the Bible is metaphorical. So Revelation 14, they say they were not defiled with woman, but it's not a literal woman. We're going to show you what it's talking about. Now, we know that sex was created for pleasure. We know that sex was created for pleasure. But Revelation 14:4 is no connections to sexual relations. All right? So, we'll go to Genesis 18:11 first. Let's go to Genesis 18:11 because we're going to show you what Sarah said. Genesis 18:11. Okay, so this is Genesis 18:11. And we're going to start with the account of Sarah and Abraham. Now, Genesis 18:11. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after that manner of woman. So, it ceased to be with Sarah after that manner of woman. And you go look at Genesis 18:12. It says, therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also. So basically what this is talking about is this right here is talking about literal sexual affairs between Sarah and her husband. Sarah was basically saying, I'm old and stricken up in age. How in the hell I'm going to have pleasure being this old? Because he was like around 90 something. Okay? So if you look at Genesis 18:13, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of surety bear a child which am old? So first of all, Sarah didn't believe that she would have a child around that age. Because the child that was prophesied to Sarah was Isaac, the child of the promise. She didn't believe she was going to have a child around that age. So she was stricken up in age, and she said, how in the hell can she have pleasure up in her old age like that? So this is on account of talking about literal sex. I'm just showing you the difference between direct sex. Right here, Genesis 18 chapter is the account of like literal sex. All right. So let's go to Genesis 9:1. Okay, I'm just gonna show you different accounts. Genesis 9:1. All right. And this is Genesis 9:1. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and he said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Genesis 9:1, however, is talking about literal sex. Okay. But what did Noah say to Ham, Shem, and Japheth? He said, be fruitful and multiply. How do you multiply? Having sex. Okay. That's how you multiply. That's how you replenish the earth. Okay. Getting your grown man on. Laying the pipe down. That's how you multiply. So let's continue on. Now Genesis 9:1. That's an account on literal sex as well. Okay, so we're gonna show you that bad sex, it leads to defilement. Let's go to Colossians 3:5. Because what we showing you before we break down Revelation 14 verse 4, we just showing you different accounts of literal sex. And we're going to show you in Revelation 14:4 is not talking about sexual affairs or literal woman at all. So let's go to Colossians 3:5 to show you bad sex that leads to defilement. Colossians 3:5. All right, Colossians 3:5. Just a little simple lesson, brothers and sisters. Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Now your members you're talking about different parts of your body. Mortify, basically bring under subjection your flesh. That's what he's saying, Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection. What is inordinate affection? That's talking about homosexuality, man. Okay? It says evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is adultery. So, yeah, man, this bad sex leads to defilement, pursuing Colossians 3:5. Now, we're going to show you Revelation 14:4 is not talking about literal sex and a literal woman. Like, we just gave you accounts on literal sex. So let's go back to Revelation 14:4 and show you that's not literal sex and that's not a literal woman. Okay, Revelation 14:4. We're going back to it now. All right. So we're back into Revelation 14:4. It says, these are they which not defiled with, they was not defiled with woman. Who was not defiled with woman? The 144,000, man. The 144,000 elders. They was not what? they were not defiled with woman. This is not literal woman, okay? It says for they are virgins, and it's not literal sex. Once again, let's break it down. Now, when you look at defiled in the Greek, you got to go in the Greek. Let's look at defiled in the Greek, okay? We'll let the devil say it. Let's let the devil say this. Anytime now.
Strong's G 3435. Maluno. Maluno.
It says maluno. So when we go into that 3435 in the Greek dictionary, we know the New Testament was partially Greek. Well, basically, the majority of it was Greek. So we go into the Greek concerning defile, and it says to pollute, to stain. See, to contaminate, defile. So 3435, maluno, defile. Now, we're going to give you a precept because we already showed you what defile means. 3435 in the Greek.
Strong's G 3435. Maluno. Maluno.
And it means to pollute, man, to contaminate. So, pursuant to Revelation 14:4, it says, these were they which were not, what? Maluno, defiled. They was not contaminated. They was not polluted with woman. Now, this is not a literal woman. Keep that in mind. I'm going to keep saying that. So, let's go to 1 John 3 and 4. Okay, 1 John 3 and 4. This is 1 John 3 and 4. It says, whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So sin is the breaking of God's law. Sin is the violation, or some may say, sin is the rebellion of God's laws. Okay. Now, when we go back, when we know what whosoever commits sin also transgress the law. All right. So Revelation 14:4 says, these are they which were not defiled with woman. Now, I'm going to show you it's not talking about a literal woman. It's talking about other philosophies, man. Okay? That's what Revelation 14:4 is talking about, other philosophies. It's just using a woman as a personification. Okay? It's not a literal woman. Like, okay, we'll show you an example. When you go into, let's say, Revelation 18, because Revelation 18 chapter is not talking about a literal woman as well. That's not talking about a literal woman. Okay, it talks about in Revelation 18 chapter, it talks about Babylon the Great is fallen. And when you go down to Revelation 18:3, it says, for all the nations have drunk of her fornication. So it describes Babylon the Great as a personification. It describes Babylon as a personification to a woman, which is America. America is a personification, which is Babylon the Great. It's a personification of a woman. Same deal here in Revelation 14:4. It just personified the woman as philosophies. So in Revelation 14:4, these were they which did not what maluno, which we saw that in the Greek, which was the Greek number, I believe, was the Greek number for maluno, which is the file right here. The Greek number was what it was, brothers and sisters. I think it was like 34 something. I believe it was like 34 something. Let's go back into it right quick, brothers and sisters. Let's go back into it. Me, Maluno. The file, Maluno 34:35. 34:35. So Revelation 14:4, these were they was not Maluno 34:35. Defiled. They didn't contaminate or pollute themselves with philosophies, which is personification of woman. We'll show you that. This is Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21 and 6. It says, the getting of treasures by a lying tongue is vanity, tossed to and fro of them that seek death. All right. So if you go outside the truth, brothers and sisters, you're going to die, man. Okay? If you go outside the truth, you're going to die. Okay? So, go to Proverbs 2. Proverbs 2. And we're going to start with verse 9, stop on 10. Proverbs 2 and 9. It says, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment. It says, in equity. Yeah, every good path. And then right here, Proverbs 2 and 10. When wisdom enter into thy heart and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. When you look at 16, Psalms 2 and 16, it says, to deliver thee from the strange woman. See that? So that's Proverbs 2 and 16. To deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth her with her words, because it's talking about philosophies, man. It's talking about lies and philosophies, like different books that will mislead you, that will detour you. You have many philosophy, lies, deceits out here, man. You know, and that is kind of personified as a woman, because Proverbs 2 and 16 say, deliver thee from a strange woman. It's not talking about a literal woman. It says, even from the stranger with flattering with her words. It's talking about philosophy, man. When you read Proverbs 2. See, it says Proverbs 2 and 13. Who lead the paths of unrighteousness to walk in the ways of darkness. Those are lies and deceit. Proverbs 2 and 14. Who rejoice to do evil in the light and the forwardness of the wicked. Proverbs 2 and 15. Whose ways are crooked and they forward their paths. Proverbs 2 and 16. Then it says, deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger with flattering with her words. See that? Proverbs 2 and 17, which forsaketh the God of her youth and forgetteth the covenant of her God. So it's just talking about lies as a woman, man, philosophies and lies as being a woman. This is Proverbs 7 and 1. Okay. Proverbs 7 and 1. It says, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. All right. Keep my commandments and live in my law as the apple of thy eye. So blessed Hispanic Native Americans, you the Israelites, you're supposed to keep the commandments so you can live and you can be the apple of the Most High's eye. Proverbs 7 and 3. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the tables of thy heart, man. Proverbs 7 and 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. See that? All right. So it's just talking about faith philosophies and so forth. And we're going to show you Proverbs 7 and 5. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger with flattered words. As you can see. All right. So, yeah, man. It's not talking about literal woman. It's just talking about philosophies and lies personified as a woman. This is Proverbs 25. Let's go back to Revelations. Let's go back to Revelation 14 and verse 4. Let's go back to the main hub where we began. So it says, these are the 144,000. These are they which were not defiled with woman, meaning philosophies and lies, personified as a woman. They was not contaminated, polluted with these lies, for they are virgins. So on the behalf, it's not talking about an actual virgin like a woman. Let's go to Matthew 25 and 1. It says, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. All right. Verse 2, and 5 of them were wise, and the other 5 were foolish. Okay. So some of them was wise, and some of them was foolish. Okay, so the bridegroom right here, because I've done a video on this already. Just look at my video called the 10 Virgins, I believe, or something like that. I did a video on this already. The bridegroom is Yahweh Shai, who they call Jesus Christ. So what we trying to show you is that, brothers and sisters, pursuing the Matthew 25th chapter, some will meet the bridegroom and some will not meet the bridegroom, okay? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4:17. 1 Thessalonians 4:17. It says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord Yahweh in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord Yahweh. So we're going to be called up in the chariots that the so-called white man classifies UFOs. We know them as the chariots of the Most High. It says that then we which are alive that remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord Yahweh in the air, man. And so shall we forever be with the Lord. 1 Thessalonians 4:18, wherefore comfort one another with these words. So it's going to be certain brothers and sisters that's going to make it, and it's going to be certain brothers and sisters that ain't going to make it, man. Okay? And that's pursuant to the the virgins right here. 5 of them was wise, and 5 of them was stupid as hell, dumb as hell, foolish. So basically a note that I'm just putting out here is on the behalf of a virgin. Anyone who has been called to the truth, basically you can be foolish or wise with it. Okay, on the behalf. Anyone that's called to the truth, while you in this truth, you can be foolish with it, you can be wise with it. And I must admit, I have done certain things in the truth that was out of line with the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And if you go off in the truth, man, you have to just repent ASAP and just beg for mercy and keep it moving, man. Okay, because brothers and sisters, you ones in the truth gonna be charged more dearly than the ones that's not in the truth, man. So if you go off in the spot in the truth, if you do go off, man, just be hasty to repent, because, like I said, anyone that has been called to the truth, you can be foolish or wise with it, man. Okay, so the Israelite man are like the Lord's woman, man. Okay, the Israelite men are like women to Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. And you got some wise man out here, you got some foolish man. Okay. James 1:26. Okay. James 1:26. If any man among you seems to be religious, we don't deal with damn religion, but if anyone among you seems to be basically a truth seeker and a follower of truth, basically that's what it's talking about, and brought up not his tongue, but deceived his own heart. This man walked with the Most High, or as follows here, religion is in vain. So if any man among you seem to have a walk with the Most High, and you brought it not his tongue, he brought it not his tongue, he deceived himself, man, his own heart. This man religion is in vain. Okay, so basically talking about brothers that fall out the truth, that start speaking on the behalf of faith philosophies and making themselves defiled and corrupt in the spirit, because you have certain brothers that come into the truth, and then after a couple months or some odd years, they come across some bullshitty other doctrines and philosophies, and that sucks them in, that toss them, and they leave the truth, man. And basically they fall out the truth, and they start speaking these fake ass philosophies that they've been led to believe, and making themselves defile in the heart, mind, and the body and the spirit, man. Okay, this is 1 James 1:27. I don't like using religion, because religion that's we don't deal with that. So it says, I would just say pure truth and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. So brothers and sisters, you got to keep yourself unspotted. That's the main thing. You got to keep yourself unspotted from the world. How to do that is to not follow the customs, these holidays that they have to offer you. You don't follow the Sundays. You keep the 7 day. You keep yourself from being unspotted by being subjected to following the dietary law. Okay, treating your brothers and sisters righteously according to the civil law and the moral law. You know, doing things like that, doing things in divine righteous order. That's how you keep yourself unspotted from the world, brothers and sisters, truly indeed. So when we go back to Revelation 14:4, it should be making good sense to you by now. Okay, so Revelation 14:4, we're back into that. These are they which not defiled with women. These certain Israelite men, these 144,000, they was not polluted. They was not contaminated with women. Personification of a woman, philosophies, lies, and vain deceit. There was these certain men that was not corrupted or polluted with these false lies, these vain, this vanity, and this deceit that's out here in the world. For they are virgins. Now we showed you pursuing the Matthew 25:1. They basically a man that devoted to Yahweh Shai. Okay. This is on the behalf of these virgins. See, they say these are they which follow the Lamb. Okay, which was the bridegroom in Matthew 25 chapter. And like I say, on the behalf of these virgins, let's go to 2 Corinthians 11:1. 2 Corinthians 11:1. It says, 2 Corinthians 11:1. Would to God you could bear with me a little in my folly. Indeed, bear with me. And it says, that's 2 Corinthians 11:1. Let's go down to 2 Corinthians 11:2. I believe that's it. 2 Corinthians. Okay, it says, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband. See, that's talking about Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ, that I may present you as a chaste virgin. Okay, see, so that I may present you, because basically a virgin is today they consider a woman. They consider the term virgin as a woman that's never been sexually engaged in any sex. You know, a virgin is a woman that has not participated in any sexual activity. So the virgin right here is the behalf of these Israelite men that have not defiled themselves with philosophy and deceit. Because, you know, just think of a whore. Think of a prostitute. What she does, she goes around and defile herself with various men. Okay, well, on the behalf, that chaste virgin right here that you're looking at, this chaste virgin, is Israelites, man. The reason why they call these Israelite men chaste virgin, because they have not been polluted or corrupted. They have not whored around and prostituted with different philosophies and lies and deceit out here in the earth. They presented themselves to the bridegroom, which is Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, they was devoted to Yahweh Shai. They was committed, because a hoe or a slut or a prostitute, she not gonna be committed, man. All right, she gonna, even if she got an old man, she gonna be out here screwing everything that has a bat and balls, man. So I'm pretty sure you understand the chaste version now. It's Israelite men that didn't defile themselves by horning around with different philosophies and different deceits out here in the world. They kept their integrity and their trust in Yahweh Shai. And that's like a virgin that's devoted to her husband, man, which is the bridegroom. So 1 Corinthians 15:23. 1 Corinthians 15:23. And it says, but every man in his own order, Christ the first fruit, after there are Christ that is coming. Now I believe this is something else. But that's not what I'm looking for, brothers and sisters. This is the last verse right here. This is the last verse, and then this video is over with. Oh, man. Well, that's That's not what I'm looking for. I think I pretty much gave you the lesson, brothers and sisters. So this is your boy Judah Israel on the behalf of Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. What did we go over? We went over Revelation, understanding Revelation, the 14th chapter, beginning with the 4th verse, to let you see that in Revelation chapter 14, verse 4, it's not talking about sex, it's not talking about actual women, and it's not talking about actual virgins. It's literally, like I said, it's explaining that certain Israelite men that didn't defile themselves, that didn't corrupt themselves, that didn't contaminate themselves with different philosophies like lies and different lies, falsehood, and deceit. These men didn't contaminate themselves. They didn't defile themselves with that, for they are virgins. They are devoted man to Yahweh Shai. And like I said, they are that follow the Lamb. Whatsoever he goes, these were redeemed from among man, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. In Revelation 14:5. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. So that is on the behalf of Revelation, understanding Revelation 14, chapter verse 4, dealing with the virgins, for they are virgins. For they are virgins. Be sure to check out my video also, known as, I believe, the 10 versions. I believe it's something like that, the 10 versions. All brothers and sisters, be sure to subscribe too. Be sure to subscribe. And like I said, I got videos and all kind of things concerning this truth that will edify you and help you along the way with your spiritual walk with the Most High. It's your boy Judah ben Israel. Like I said, pursuing these versions, like I said, it's just an extra tape that goes with Revelation 14. You can check out right here the partial breakdown. Let's see, let's zoom in again. The partial breakdown on the 10 version parable, Matthew 25th chapter. You can look at that. That was posted like 2 weeks ago. Shabar Judah Israel. Also follow me on Twitter and all that good stuff. But I hope you was edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We want to say Shalom Akim and Tawab Barakah. Peace.